the revision to the catch rule. And I know this is something that me and you have discussed on length many different times. I know what the rule was. If a player was in the act of going to the ground while catching it, he had to survive the ground. Now the rule has been changed as he's got possession, 2 feet, makes a football act, all of that. Do you think we'll see more fumbles now or more incomplete passes? I think there's still a little bit of gray area in there, Mike, that still was going to need to be clarified, especially when that play finally happens during the season.
Well, there is gray area. I thought they did a good job of taking this notion of having to survive the ground out of it. No, now look you're still going to be going to the ground, but
Right.
The fact of the matter is that you have to have the 3 elements to get a catch. And that's the same whether you're on the feet and not going to the ground or if you're on your way to the ground. And it's pretty simple. It's control, 2 feet or another body part, and then a football move, which if you're upright could be 3 steps. The third step could be turning upfield and extending. I mean, they did a pretty good job, although they've done that before. But I was concerned about that last portion of it, that,
Right.
Or have time to do a football move, even though you don't do it, which becomes then the real gray area. I think it's clear because Jesse James's, play with Pittsburgh, that should have been a touchdown.
Correct.
It smelled like a touchdown, felt like a touchdown. So did Des Bryant's catch many years ago. So did Calvin Johnson back in 2010. So we got off track. And I say we because I was a part of that. But we got off track with the rule. And I think because of replay. I actually argue with Dean Blandino, my good buddy who I
Yes.
work with at Fox. He thinks that they made it simple for the officials and made it understandable for the officials, and now you're making it more gray. And I argued with him and said, how can you say you made it simple with the officials when what did the officials rule with Jesse James? They ruled touchdown. What did they rule with Des Bryant on the field? They ruled catch. What did they rule with Calvin Johnson? One ruled touchdown. The other one came over kind of sheepishly and incomplete, and then they stayed with incomplete. So officials make calls on the field quite often based on the eye test. It's instinct. It's how it feels. Did he have it long enough? And to me, that ought to be left right there. And replay ought to be out of that, trying to make this subjective decision at a different speed than the officials actually see it. I really think it's a mistake leaving replay in there. It's better. I do think it's better. I disagree again with Dean. I talked to him last night, and he tried to convince me that it wasn't better. I think it's better. It will be clear, and it will take those ones that look so much like a catch, and they'll leave them as a catch, and I think we'll all be better for it.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.